Hello pretties, welcome to Restaurant. So today I have my low buy intro for 2024 and I'm going to do things really different than I have in the past. To be honest, I was going back and forth whether I should be doing a no buy versus a low buy or whatnot because quite honestly, oh gosh, give me a second. Okay, there you go. Quite honestly, I have enough makeup currently in my collection where I could do a whole no buy for an entire year and I would be just fine. So I was like, how do I go about this? I thought about doing like the point system one that I know what's her name? Paula from Beauty Guru Make Me Do It. There you go. She has a point bank system, and I know that Steph has one, and I've seen Alejandra from Alejandra Lisette has one as well. So I was like, maybe I could do that. But then my problem, and this is what I've seen for many years, is that their collections are not actually dwindling down. And a lot of times they finish a blush, for example, or like a mini lip gloss or whatever, and they end up buying a palette with that credit. And I'm just like, that just doesn't make sense for me because I am trying to dwindle down my numbers to get them to be on the green category. So, if you don't know what I mean by green category is, I copied Jessica Lee and in the way that she has her categories. So green category is anything between 1 and 5. If you have 6 through 10, you're a yellow category. And if you have 10, more than 10, 11 or more, then it's a red category. So I am trying to keep things at yellow, yellow, green area. Obviously some of those categories are completely out of control and some of them are more manageable. Eyeshadow is the only where I'm like, single shadows and palettes are the only categories where I'm okay being at red. Everything else, in my opinion, should be a yellow or a red or a green, if not green. Honestly, it should all be green. So things have gotten a little out of control this last couple of years, and I want to start taking it back a notch and whatnot. So I came up with specific rules for each individual category based on how much product I have for each individual one and what would make me be able to go back to where I am comfortable. Some of them are doable and I'm probably gonna see those changes like immediately after this year is over, and some of them it's gonna take a couple of years of me doing this. So yes, this is a low bit intro for 2024, but I'm expecting this same format to stick with me for the next couple of years. I'm probably gonna have to change the rules for each individual category as I'm getting closer to my goal, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. For example, foundations. Quick preview, this is currently at a yellow category in my collection, but I'm not too far off from that green category. I actually think I can probably get this down to a green by the end of the year. Now, I am doing the 2 out, 1 in for this specific category because I'm trying to get it down to a green category and I'm trying to be very conscientious about it. Now, I currently only have one foundation in my I'm in a lookout, and that is the House Labs foundation. Everyone and their mother has been talking about it and raving about it, and it sounds really good, so I want to try it. But aside from that, there are currently 2 foundations in my collection that I don't particularly care for. So if I can get those 2 out and then bring that one in, that would actually put me at a green because I'm currently have 6. This is not an inventory video. That's kind of what I'm going through. Concealers, I want to do a 1 out, 1 in. However, I know for a fact there's certain concealers I'm going to get out of my collection that I don't plan on replacing, but I could if I wanted to. So I have the 1 out, 1 in, which means we're in a more comfortable state. That's a good place. Color correcting, same thing, 1 out, 1 in. However, again, I don't have any intention of repurchase or like replacing the ones that I'm gonna finish this year. So this number should go down even further. Primers, same, 1 out, 1 in. Again, I have quite a few primers that I don't have any intention of replacing or buying new ones. I just want to get them out of my collection, so pretty good there, not concerned. Bronzer, have a 1 out, 1 in. Same thing with bronzer. It's not my favorite category. I do have a couple of bronzers that I would like to not have anymore, But there, I don't have anything where I'm like particularly concerned. I don't want to replace them, so not concerns there. Blush. Goodness. My blush collection in the last like 2 to 3 years have quite in the last 3 years. It has gone from like three. I had like 3 or 5 blushes in 2020, somewhere around there, like 3 to 5, and I currently have more than 30. So it's been a journey. I do finish normally blush relatively quickly, except for last year. Let's not talk about it. This current year, because I'm filming this in 2023 still, although you guys are seeing this in 2024. This is gonna be really hard for me, but I'm giving myself 3. I can only buy 3 blushes for the entire year, and that includes what's it called? Gifts. So my only concern with this is if Laura Lee Los Angeles drops another blush palette. I don't think she will. And if I'm being fairly honest, I really do not think she will. But if she does, I'm probably gonna buy it, and that means I'm not buying any more blush for the entire year, and I'm gonna exceed this number. But I'm not gonna be as mad if it's a palette versus a bunch of individual blushes. That being said, I've recently just bought shit ton of blushes. So I really do not need to be buying anything else. I was debating actually going into a no buy, like complete no buy for this, and I just know how much I love blush that was just not realistic, and I was gonna break that no buy, and I didn't want to put myself in this situation. But if I'm just having to be super strategic with what I am allowing myself to purchase, then maybe I can still somewhat limit what's coming in. This category, it would take a long time for me to actually get it down to a yellow again, and I don't foresee that happening, but I am trying to minimize how much I'm bringing in. Okay, moving on. Powder, 1 out, 1 in. No concerns here. You guys know I don't care for powder. So it is what it is. Highlighters, I'm gonna strict no buy. There's absolutely no highlighters that can come out that I would be interested in whatsoever, whether it's powder or liquid. I have come to the realization that I like liquid highlighters versus powder highlighters. I know I'm the exception. A lot of people think it's, they prefer the other way, but I actually really enjoy a more subtle light highlight, that's what liquid does. It's more of a luminizing from within kind of thing, and that's what I enjoy. And I currently have like 5 no, 1 2 3 4. I have 4 liquid highlighters. I really don't need more, and I have a shit ton of powder highlighters that I don't even want. And somehow I have them. I have like 2 powder highlighters that I actually do like, and that's it. Now, I do potentially see this category breaking by accident. If Laura Lee drops a blush palette, she's likely gonna have a highlighter in it, because that's what she's done in the past. And if that happens, oh well, it happened. I bought it. I'm not too mad about that particular scenario if it does happen, but I'm not gonna buy any individual, and I'm definitely not buying any highlighter palettes ever. Like, because Laura Lee has dropped highlighter palettes, and I definitely skipped on those. I was like, that's not for me. That's just not me. I don't like highlighter like that. So I'm gonna try to keep it on a strict no buy for this one. Again, I don't think Laura Lee Los Angeles is gonna drop one of those, so it is what it is. Setting spray, 1 out, 1 in. Honestly, I only own one setting spray, and the same one I've owned for years. To say I keep repurchasing the same one, so I'm not concerned about it. That was the face categories. Now we're going to eyes. Okay, so for primers, I am on the 1 out, 1 in. I'm not concerned about this one. I own 2 primers. I keep repurchasing the same 2. Not concerned about it. Brows, I have 1 out, 1 in. Same thing. I have 1 out, 1 I'm fine. Mascaras, no buy. Who would have known? But I currently have 4 unopened mascaras in my collection. And so tomorrow, I'm gonna be decluttering the mascara that I've been using for the last like 4 months. And I use 1 mascara every 4 months. I try to replace it every 4 months, which means I have 1 too many. So I will not be purchasing any more mascaras. I don't want to go back to old habits where I was using 1 every 3 months, because quite honestly it was wasteful. I was just throwing it out because that's what I heard people say that they would do, even though most mascaras say they're good for up to 6 months. And I was not. Usually at around the 4-month mark is when they start getting like a little dry and they start flaking off, and that's where, okay, it's time for me to move on. and I only keep one mascara open at a time. I'm not double dipper. So it just, no buy, pretty straightforward. Eyeliner. So I actually bought some eyeliners. I'm waiting for them to arrive in the mail. And I have a one out, one in. Technically, I've already done that. I'm actually going to change this on the fly right now. I'm telling you, no buy. We're not going to buy any more eyeliners. There's absolutely nothing that anyone can tell me that's going to make me, oh gosh. I'm trying to like mess with my spreadsheets right now as I'm talking to you guys. Oh gosh. Come on. There you go. Copy and paste. Okay, so eyeliner is now officially a no buy category. I actually don't own that many eyeliners. I own like, I guess currently I own 6, but I have this little black one that's literally this big. It's on its way out, and one of my brown ones keeps breaking, and so I actually have to throw it away. So once the 2 that come in, I got a bronze one and a plum one because I don't own a plum one. Then I will be set. I will have at that point a black, cream, bronze brown, right, and plum eyeliner, and I don't think I need anything else besides that. I potentially would like to get an emerald one, but haven't seen any good ones, so I'm good. So no buy for eyeliner. Single shadows. I do really enjoy single shadows, and I was debating making this a no buy section, but I wanted to allow myself to maybe have a little wiggle room. So I'm saying I can buy 10 single shadows for the year. No, that's too high. That's too high. I'm making adjustments on the fly. I'm updating my spreadsheet. I'm changing that to 5 for the year. I'm allowing myself 5 single shadows for the whole year. Ugh, it really should be a no buy, if I'm being 100% honest. So even me allowing myself 5 seems like a lot. I'm gonna be with the mindset of 5. My mindset's gonna be no, none at all. But knowing that I could potentially buy 5. And I have to be really strategic with which ones I'm buying, because I don't need any more single shadows at all. Okay, eyeshadow palettes. On the same boat as single shadows, I really should not be buying any. However, I know for a fact that about halfway through this year, maybe at the end of the year, I'm gonna be doing a massive eyeshadow palette declutter. I have a lot of shadows that are well past 5, 6 years. Actually, some of them 7 years old now. They're old, okay? And they should not be in my collection anymore. And there's some that I, quite honestly, they're not that old. I just don't like. Which is why if you saw my build your own palette, actually I think my build your own palette might be going up after this one, but I filmed it before. I pulled out the Ofra and Samantha March palette, and I was like, this is in my shopping block. I'm gonna really have like 10 palettes, 8 to 10 palettes that are gonna go into that shopping block, and I'm foreseeing that the majority of them will not be sticking around after that. So this is probably gonna be like their last hurrah. So I'm okay with bringing 5 in, knowing that I'm probably gonna drop like 5, 8, maybe 10 palettes by the end of this year. So it is what it is. I'm allowing myself 5. I do want to be very careful and very strategic with what I am bringing in. I don't know why I have in the back of my head the Persona is going to be dropping a palette, and I'm really excited. I hope that they do, because I will 100% be picking it up. And I don't mean like the little ones, but like an actual, like the Identity palettes, one of those, like the big ones. I'm going to be on the lookout for the Natasha Denona. She's always somebody that I want to be on the lookout for. I'm always on the lookout for Lolly Los Angeles. I really like her formula. It's one of my favorites. But I don't have any other brands that I'm on the lookout for. It's just those 3. Natasha does drop more palettes than pretty much the other 2. I mean, like, Persona Cosmetics hasn't dropped a palette in 3 going on 4 years, actually. So that being said, I'm not too worried about that. Laura drops 2 palettes at the most, if that. I mean, last year this year she only dropped 1. Yeah, 2023 she only dropped 1, and she did say that she's been focusing on her clothing brand because they had to like rebrand and all that stuff. So I'm okay with that. So I'm just gonna be it's gonna be Natasha Denona that I'm gonna have to be careful. not to like pick everything up and maybe go in store and like swatch this stuff before making any purchases. I think that's gonna be my best bet. Okay, so 5 eyeshadow palettes for the whole year. Okay, lips. All right. Lip balm, when I went in. This is not really a category where I have a lot of lip balms. I have one lip balm. And when I say lip balm, I meant like a real, true lip balm, like a kind of mask that I wear at night. I only really have one like that. And that's the only one I'm gonna keep repurchasing from Milani. It's honestly so good. And it's so hydrating. And I go to sleep with like really rough lips and I wake up in the morning and they're smooth as hell. So I love that one, and it's like $10 or something like that, so I really appreciate it. Lip liner, I have a 2 out 1 in. I don't know what happened in 2023, but I like fell in love with lip liner, even though I wasn't really wearing lip liner, but I fell in love with lip liner. And especially towards the end of the year, I started like buying some from Persona. I bought some from Rare Beauty. I bought one from Charlotte Tilbury. It was in a set. It was in like a mini set with that one and the Pillow Talk gloss. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy it. And there was a couple more. I don't know how. All of a sudden I had like lip liners. I'm gonna pull it up here. But I have like 3 lip liners. I already owned some from ColourPop. I have one from ABH. And I'm just like, how did this happen? I will say though, the lip liners from Rare Beauty are fucking gorgeous. They're so good. The Persona ones, beautiful. So I think in the future I will only buy those. However, I currently have too many. So this is gonna be in a 2 out 1 in. So no worries there. Realistically, this should be a no buy, but I'm allowing myself to outwin it, which honestly means that I'm probably not gonna buy any this whole year because it's gonna take me a whole year to finish 2 lip liners. There's absolutely no way I'm gonna be able to finish more than 1 this year. Because I've tried to pan the one from the NYX and Garnet. I don't like that one, and it's taken me like 4 years to pan 1 lip liner. It's not my favorite category to pan, but it is what it is. 2 out 1 in. Essentially is a no buy because there's no way I'm gonna finish 2 in 1 year. Lip gloss, 2 out 1 in. This one's actually very realistic. If you guys, except for 2023, I consistently finish anywhere between like 5 and 8 lip glosses every single year. I love lip gloss, and I prefer tinted lip glosses. It's one of my favorite categories. Like tinted lip glosses and tinted lip balms are my favorite categories, and I can go through those like this. They're so easy, they're so comfortable. I enjoy them and I can finish them quickly. So 2 out 1 in, because I currently do have way too many lip glosses. I'm currently in a red category, which I normally, because I finish lip glosses so quickly, I'm usually like even, somewhere between like green and yellow categories. This is the first time in ever that my lip gloss category has been out of red. So I definitely need to be working on that. Like, I've never had my lip gloss category being a red. And that kind of goes with my tinted balm. We're kind of in a similar situation right now. My tinted balms, this is the first time ever that my tinted balms are in a red category, because I normally, like I said, finish and then go through them so quickly. I'm always consistent in like a green yellow, and so I've never been concerned about how many I owned. However, I've recently bought so many, and I'm not going through them as quickly, where I had to get extra storage because I couldn't fit all of my lip glosses and my tinted balms, and I had to like expand and move things around to make them fit, and that's just too much. So they still all fit in the drawer, so I'm not having, because if you guys don't know, I keep all my makeup in a desk and I have essentially 2 drawers, and I pull makeup out and I put in baskets here outside for like things that I'm using and whatnot, and so that does help me like move things around. Not everything could fit here on its own as it is, but it should, and that's a problem. So that being said, this is also in a 2 out 1 in category, just because I know I can finish them and I don't mind bringing more in. I just want to make sure that I'm finishing them, as I'm finishing more than I'm bringing in. And then these 2 categories will naturally go back down to a yellow-green category if I go on my normal pattern of how I usually finish lip products. So I'm not worried about it. Now, the next 2 categories are the lip categories where I don't make as much progress as I do on the other 2. Bullet lipsticks, I actually can finish bullet lipsticks relatively easy. I normally finish 1 or 2 every year. So that's a category where I'm not as worried about it. It's just not my preferred formula. It's never something that I naturally reach for. I have to put in a project pan for me to actually go ahead and reach for them. It's never a go-to kind of for me. So that being said, it's gonna be in 2 out 1 in. I'm technically currently in a yellow stage, or I think I might be like just barely red because I did buy some minis from Charlotte Tilbury. However, I'm I need to finish some of my older because most 90 80% of my bullet lipsticks are more than 5 years old. That's so I haven't actually bought that many new ones, but most of them are just really old. So I do need to make an attempt to finish these old ones and like kind of put them out, and then I would naturally go back into a yellow green stage. But this is a 2 out 1 in. Liquid lipsticks, I'm actually don't love liquid lipsticks. I haven't bought liquid lipsticks in the 2 years, to be honest. I don't love liquid lipsticks. It's not my preferred formula at all. The only really liquid lipsticks that I own are from L'Oreal Los Angeles. I have 2 exceptions, and that's a black liquid lipstick from ColourPop, and then this nude from Dose of Color that I won in a like giveaway kind of thing. And so those are the only ones. I am gonna put this in a 2 out 1 in. Quite honestly, no, I'm changing my mind. I just don't like liquid lipsticks, so I'm going to change this. I'm doing this on a fly copy. I'm gonna change this to a no buy altogether. Paste, because I don't. Even if L'Oreal Los Angeles were to drop one, which is the only reason I would buy one, unless it's a rebranding of Christmas, I should not be buying any liquid lipsticks, even if it is from my favorite brand. I just don't like liquid lipsticks, so that's what it is. It is what it is. And I actually like her formula. That's not a bad liquid lipstick. I just don't, I never reach for them. Never. I think I've worn them last year less than 10 times for the entire year. So I have no business buying them. Okay, so that's everything for this low buy. I'm not sure how often I'll be doing updates yet. I think quarterly sounds like realistic. Just because I don't buy enough makeup in one given month to make it worthwhile. Yeah. So let's see how we do with that. And that way we can also, and I do my empties every 2 months. So you'll be able to see if I'm like removing things, and I'll keep track of that. How many have I finished? So I can verify that. Okay. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm excited to know, are you doing a low buy, no buy? How are you managing your makeup collection? I'm just curious and nosy, and I want to know what you guys are doing. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye guys.